Hi everyone and welcome back. Mindy here today for Lawn Fawn, and I'm going to be creating a reveal wheel card using the Shooting Star add-on. I thought this matched perfectly with the Out of This World stamp set, so I'm going to also show you how I created this galaxy background for this. So I already have my images stamped out from Out of This World stamp set. I'm going to be doing coloring up the astronaut and also the rocket ship. I didn't want to add too much to this. I was trying to keep this a little simple compared to some of the cards that I do. So I did stamp this out onto some white cardstock from Lawn Fawn, and I did use the jet black ink. For my skin, I'm using E04, E11, and E00, and I just added a little bit of shadow to the left side of the face. For the hair, I used E59, E57, and E55. For the astronaut's suit, I'm using C4, C2, and C0, and I just added shadow to the underside of the arms, the inside of the legs, and then to the left side of the astronaut, because I knew he would be on my left side of the card. So I was trying to keep the light like it would be coming from the right hand side. And then I just blended those out from darkest to lightest. I'm also coming in for the boots with N4 and N2. Adding a little bit of R39 and R24 for the rest of the suit, so just the stripes on the side and the belt and under the helmet there, and then just a little bit of B02 for the buttons on the suit. Now for the rocket, I stuck with the R39 and R24, and I added the R39 to the right hand side of the rocket and blended out with the R24, so my light source would be coming from the left hand side, and C4 and C2 for the top of my rocket and the bottom portion there. Same thing where I left the darkest color on the right hand side. And then for the sides of the rocket, I just did the B06 and B02. So I kept that coloring super simple, and then I'll just die cut these out with the coordinating dies, holding them in place with some purple tape. So here are the pieces for the reveal wheel. This is using the Shooting Star add-on. I die cut out the one piece with the reveal wheel die, adding that shooting star in there, and then a blank one, so using the original reveal wheel. And I just did this out of some Lawn Fawn white cardstock. The piece with the shooting star I did out of Bristol Smooth, and then you'll see here I used the Pixie Dust glitter cardstock and die cut out 2 rows of puffy clouds. Those will go towards the bottom of my card. I also die cut out that main base piece from some sunflower cardstock, and then the literally piece from white. So here I'm starting in for my galaxy, and I started with the Twisted Citron Distress Oxide, just dropping in some color real random. I do want to make sure that that light green shows through, so I don't want to cover that up. I'm going to come in with the Mermaid Lagoon and add that all around my Twisted Citron area. I'm not worried about ink blending towards the bottom because remember, we'll be covering those up with the puffy clouds. Then I'll come in with a darker color, which is the Blueprint Sketch. And this is why I use the Bristol Smooth cardstock, because it blends really, really well when it comes to distress inks or distress oxides. So I took the Blueprint Sketch and went in a little bit, not too far, because I want to make sure all of the colors show through. And then the very edges with some black soot. Then I will take my daubers and go over those areas just to kind of smooth out that blend a little bit. And I do pick up a little bit more of the Twisted Citron and add it just to brighten that area up just a little bit. And I know it's looking pretty crazy right now, but it will get better, I promise. Then I have some white ink that I'm just dropping onto an acrylic block. And I have a paper towel laid down here because it's just easier for cleanup for me. And I'm going to flick this off the block with my paintbrush to give the illusion of stars. And this really helps bring the background together. Once all the elements are in place, this really comes out as a galaxy background, but these stars really do the trick. Then I can start working on my actual reveal wheel. So I'm placing the brad through that small white circle, popping it through the sunflower cardstock, and the side that is facing up right now has the scored lines. So that's important because we want that on the top. And then just putting on some small foam squares on that base. And I'm just kind of hitting this with my heat tool, making sure that my white ink is dry. I didn't want to smudge anything. And also getting out my bottom layer of the reveal wheel panel. Placing that sunflower cardstock through that shooting star, and I'm going to find my score lines. So on the side, I'm looking for that score line, and I'm going to push it in a little bit, and through the top, I'm going to push that so I can't see those score lines, and then I can place that down onto my base. Then I'll just come in and make some tick marks at north, south, east, and west. Line that back up, and I'm going to trace in my star, and this is just a guide for me so I know where I'm going to put my smiley faces for stamping those out. So I'll just turn that on the side till I see that little tick, trace in my star, turn it again till I see the next one, and trace in the star, and I'll keep doing that for all 4 of them. Then I'll go ahead, remove the prongs so I can take this base out. And now I'm coming in with Bun in the Oven stamp set. This had some perfect small little smiley faces for my stars. And I'm sure if you look through some of your sets, you might find some other ones that have these really cute smiley faces. So I'm just going to put these on an acrylic block and ink these up with some black licorice ink, and go through and stamp all of those smiley faces in the center of my stars. So each star will have its own little smiley face. I thought that was just really cute, something different. You could also use glitter paper for your stars. You could also do some ink blending. I just decided that having them change their face was really cute. So stamp that last one there. And then I'll come in and I'll erase those pencil lines around my stars and the little tick marks. And then that way those won't show through, and I can pop that back onto my panel. Line these up. And I also have my main card base as a piece of white cardstock. Like I said, I was just keeping this really simple, really clean. And what I want to do before I attach anything is I'm lining this up about where I'm going to have the panel. And I'm taking the reveal wheel sentiments, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says turn the wheel. I thought that was something a little different than just the arrow. And it's a really cute font. These stamp super, super well. So just leaving that panel there, kind of eyeballing where it's going to go. I'm going to ink that up with the black licorice ink and just stamp that in there so people know to turn the wheel when they receive the card. Now I can go ahead and place my foam tape around my panel so that there's room for my reveal wheel to spin, and I'm using the same kind of foam tape that I used on the back of my reveal wheel base. That way it's all the same height. And I'm just trimming these down, cutting these into small strips so I can fit them all over the back. I want this nice and even, and I'm going to put just a couple little ones in the corners there. Once that's ready, I'll remove the backing on my foam strip tape, and then I can attach my top panel. And these make such a fun interactive card you can send for girls or for boys. Making sure my corners I lined up nice and straight. And just giving that a good push and testing out my reveal wheel, and that's working perfectly. Then I also took the outline of the shooting star and I die cut that from some pixie dust glitter cardstock, adding a little bit of sparkle to the front. A boy might not like it, but I think it's super cute. And then I'll just use my tweezers and the Lawn Fawn glue to add that right on top. And I think that just worked out perfectly for the shooting star. I took my finger and I kind of just swiped across, making sure there wasn't any extra glue, because if it touches the oxide, it's gonna leave that water looking impression. So I wanted to make sure that that glue was spread out evenly. Now I can take my puffy clouds and I'm going to get these layered at the bottom of my card. And you can see one is longer than the other. I use my glitter cardstock pretty sparingly. I love my glitter cardstock, but I don't ever want to run out. So it doesn't go all the way to the bottom on that one strip. And I'm just kind of getting an idea where I want my astronaut to go and the rocket ship, and then I can start gluing these together. So I'm going to glue that top one right on top of the puffy cloud that's going to sit behind. Just holding that down for an extra second or two, making sure that that really sticks together. And then I'm just going to take some thermal web adhesive runner and run that across the back of my puffy clouds, and I can attach that right to the front of my card. Now I can come in and get my pieces attached. So here's my little astronaut just going off on the side, holding that down for an extra second. And for my rocket ship, since he is going onto that glitter cardstock, I'm going to place that down and I'm going to put a block on top of it and just set it off on the side while I work on my sentiment. So I thought this would work perfect. This is the How You Bean Star add-on stamp set, and the sentiment on there, You're a Star, I thought was just perfect to go with this card. So I'm just going to stamp that out onto the Lawn Fawn white cardstock using some black licorice ink. And then I'm going to take the Everyday Sentiments banner die, hold that in place with some purple tape, and run that through. This is such a staple in my supplies. I absolutely love this banner die. It works for everything. And the fact that you can customize your banner size is just, it's perfect. So once that one end is die cut, I'm going to flip this to the other side, line up how much room I want at the end, and you'll be able to feel it fit into place. Hold that down, and then I can just run that back through my die cut machine, and I have this perfectly sized die cut banner for my sentiment. My die cutting plates are kind of dirty, and I had something stuck on my banner, so I just used this mono sand eraser to remove it, and that worked great. Now I can go finish putting my card together, so I'm just going to put the thermal web tape on the back of my panel and attach that right to the front of my A2 size card base that I'm going to be using. So this came out perfectly. My last piece is just adding that banner to the top. I also have some pictures of another card I had created where I just used the Mermaid Lagoon blueprint sketch and black soot Distress Oxide ink. So I'll have pictures for those at the end here as well. And that was just a different look of a galaxy. Same card design, just another way to create the galaxy, leaving out that bright color. And look how cute that is with those faces changing. Love it. So I really hope you enjoyed this today. I really enjoyed making it. Thank you for stopping by and have an amazing day.